All right, so we're looking at this new assignment, and this is the master bedroom design and printing of your model train. And you should make sure that you have got this taken care of by next week, Wednesday. If you're a solo student, please share it with me. Send me an email that said, "Hey, Mr. Stewart, I've shared this." And in your sharing, make sure that you do can edit. That way I can print your stuff and then correct it from my prints here at school. If you're a Garnet and Gray student, you'll just print it and put it in the turn-in box here in school. All right, so we're going to start with reading the master bedroom design brief. That's this document right here. So I've clicked on this. And how many of you guys, Connor, have you ever gone to the IKEA store? I think it's up in Hamilton, Ontario. No? Luke? Years ago? Yeah, me too. I went up there a few years ago. IKEA is a Swedish company. They make furniture and cabinetry and oh goodness gracious, all kinds of kitchen stuff and uh, lamps and bedroom dressers, and it all comes in what's called a flat pack. You walk in the store, you see the display, you pull the package of stuff out of the slot on the rack that it's in. It's they'll put a bed set in a box, that's 10 or so inches deep, and then you take it home and you get out the instructions and you assemble it and you put it together, right? So IKEA has in its building, its showroom, it has different design ideas. So they call them scenes. So you walk in, you look, and they have, they have a master bedroom set up. They'll have kitchen set up, and they're all displaying their different products to you so that you can see what they look like put together. And it's not just a picture or, with a big box behind it. It's an actual physical thing that you can see. And it's something that a lot of people really, really like to do, is to actually visualize something rather than seeing a picture and trying to put it through their imagination, right? So here's what your client is. They are the IKEA room design team, and your customer is new homeowners building their houses up. Mr. Tabor across the hall just bought a new house, and he's putting together all of his furniture and stuff like that. And he's buying some stuff online at Amazon and such as that. By the way, the closest IKEA store in the inside of the United States to us right now is in Pittsburgh, PA. So if you want to buy IKEA stuff, you can go up to Hamilton, but I'm not sure well, you can't go up there right now even, but I'm not sure what the story is with coming back over the border with stuff. But if you wanted IKEA materials, you have to go to Pittsburgh. You can anyways. All right. So here is the problem statement. The production managers at IKEA have determined that the current setup of their bedroom display is out of date, and they have asked their design team to create a new design to showcase their stores. By the way, IKEA has bedding, they have sheets, blankets, stuff like that. They have rugs. It's an amazing place. It really is. If you get a chance to ever go to one, go to it and see it. Anyways, so here's our design statement, and the design statement is what you're going to do. You're going to design a bedroom that's between 125 and 150 square feet. Now, how do you calculate the square footage of a room? What do you think, Brandon? Braden? You don't know? No? Luke? How about you? You got any idea? No? Connor? What? Well, no. We're just looking for the square footage of like the floor. Okay. So what you do is, let's say this room is 30 feet wide. What do you got, Gage? Pardon me? The diagonal? No. Um, let's go with this. This room is 30 feet wide and 50 feet that way. Okay? So it's 30 by 50. What you do is you take those measurements and you multiply them by each other. So if this room is 30 feet wide and 50 feet long, the room is 150 square feet. Okay? So it's the length times the width. Now, if you want what's called the cubic feet of the area, you take the length times the width times the height. So there's three measurements. Cubic means three. All right? So 3 is cubic. Cubic is 3. So length times width, and just for easy math, let's say the ceiling is 10 feet tall. So this would be, is that 1,500 square feet? Or cubic feet, sorry. Length times width times height at 10 feet would be 1,500 cubic feet, I think. Maybe it's 15,000. Well, whatever. So to find the square feet of something, you have to measure the length and the width in feet. Okay. Now, here's our constraints. You have to include the following furniture from IKEA. You have to have some sort of a bed. It's a bedroom, right? You have to have some sort of a place to sleep. You have to have a dresser in your bedroom because you need some place to put your clothing. You have to have at least 2 other pieces of furniture in your room. Those are your choice. Okay, you can put whatever you like. You have to have a closet in your room, which is 28 inches by 48 inches. Now, this is a little bit of a trap here, and I'll tell you about why it's kind of a little bit of a trap, this closet with inches as a measurement, in a second. So you have to have a closet. You also have to have 50 square feet of open space in the room. So if you're standing in the room, you have to have 50 square feet that you can, doesn't have a bed on it or a dresser or anything like that. You can have a rug on it, but, because you can stand on it, right? Let's see. So the room size has to be between 125 and 150 square feet total. And the cost of all furniture has to be less than $1,200. So the price of the bed and the price of the dresser and the price of the other 2 pieces of furniture cannot total more than $1,200. All right. So I'm going to scroll down. So this is the procedure. So the first part of this, it says define the problem and determine what the problem is. Well, we've already talked about that. So, hey, look, you got number 1 done already, huh? And by the way, if you take a look at this, it says from the master bedroom design brief under procedure, complete steps numbers 1, 2, and 3. All right, so 1, 2, and 3 are what you need to get done by next week on Wednesday. So you're going to start generating concepts. Now, the first step is to go on to IKEA's website, and they have a great website, and you're going to research different beds, different dressers, and the other 2 pieces of furniture from the IKEA website. So that's your first step, is go on IKEA, look at the stuff they have, and start picking out furniture and stuff like that. Then you're going to create an area reference sheet, and it's going to show the following things on the reference sheet. You're going to calculate the area of the closet. Now, I told you up here that this closet is 28 inches by 48 inches. That's not feet, that's inches. So this closet is 4 feet long by 28 inches. Now, the question is, how many feet is in 28 inches? Go ahead. Pardon me? 2 feet 4 inches. So now we know it's 2 feet 4, right? But we have to know in decimals how many inches how many feet how many feet are in 4 inches, or how many? Yeah, I think I got that right. Go ahead. Pardon me? Where are you doing? Yes, it would be 2.33 feet. So we would take this closet and multiply 2.33 by 4 to get the square footage. You have to calculate, you have to convert inches to feet first, and then multiply the two of them together to get square feet. Okay. All right. So that is step number 1. All right. Good. Now, you're going to also calculate the area of all objects that are going to be in the room. And then you're going to draw pictures of them to scale with dimensions. Now, when you go back to this, you're going to see one of these. This is a student from last year that did this assignment. And this is his bedroom reference sheet. And here's his price for his bed. Here's the inches. And what you do is you divide the inches by 12, and that's going to give you your foot, how many feet the bed is, right, in length, times 61, and I can't tell if that's 3/4 or 3/8. So you divide that by 12, and that's going to give you the square feet. So you take those two and you multiply them together down here, and that gives us an area for the bed of 37 point whatever feet that is. Now, he does the same thing with his dresser down here, all right? Converts the square to feet first, and then multiplies the two of them together to get the area. And then we have a nightstand, and what did he use? Some sort of a television stand, all right? So those are the calculations that you have to do for square footage. Now, back to this. All right. Now, once you do that, then you move on to determining your size, the size of your room and its shape. And you're going to plan out your layout to ensure that it meets all the criteria. So where am I going to put the dresser? Where am I going to put the bed? You might have a door in this thing also. So number 3, you're going to develop a solution. So you're either going to make a hand drawing of the room on grid paper, or you can create this. I have Autodesk Inventor on here, but that's because we wrote this thing 2 or 3 years ago. You don't have to use Inventor. You can use Onshape if you like to do this part. But you have to include all the features in your drawing with full dimensions and labels. So in other words, you're going to, in your drawing, label the height, width, and depth of the items. And you're going to show the overall dimensions of the room and the calculations of the area of the room and features to determine if you're within the constraints. So those are the steps that you have to complete for next week, Wednesday. Now, when we get this done, right, the steps number 2 and 3 here, we're going to move into step number 4, which is designing the prototype. And I do want to show you this. This is a sample of a layout. I'm sorry, this is sideways. I don't see the rotate thing, but anyways, this is what a layout looks like. There's some of the labeling is missing from this. You're supposed to calculate the areas here. Each one of these blocks is 6 inches wide. So if I have something that is 8 feet long, how many blocks am I going to count over? Luke? Pardon? 16. That's correct. So each block is equal to 6 inches. So one block equals 6 inches. All right. So there's a sample of a layout that probably wasn't as complete as I would like it to be, but we'll move on. All right, so you're going to design a prototype of the room using recyclable materials and your choice. Make sure that, of course, it's all school appropriate stuff, that the room should be to scale and should include models of all features in the bedroom. You may build walls if you want, but it's not necessary. And the floor should include visual layout of the room, which is your drawing. So that should be on the floor. We're going to evaluate it to see if it actually meets all the constraints and see if you need to add anything else to it. And then you're going to present it to the IKEA managers. I'm going to be the IKEA manager, I guess, for this thing. Let's see. All right. So that's the assignment. So step one will be starting to look up the stuff. And then step two, the next thing is actually starting to lay it all out and do the reference sheet and such as that. And this is kind of a fun assignment. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing this right now.